Welcome to Mother Suckers Hero Hunters. Thank you for joining me today for this video about the original 6 Magistrates. As you can see, here's the shape of my team right now. I don't have Brogan yet and I don't have Min yet, so I'm just going to talk about the original 6 and even some things that have changed since the recent update. I'm going to be telling you whether it's worth investing in them or not. We're going to look at how they would do in PvP and how they do in bounties. And is it just really worth your hard-earned stamina and gold, especially with the recent changes in drop rates and things like that? You really want to know where it's going to be worth to spend your time and your energy. So let's give you the lowdown on these original 6. Let's start with Mr. Clyde. Now, some people said that after the update he was going to be a lot better and more usable, and there are some changes they made to him to make him better in terms of his accuracy with his skills and in terms of his accuracy overall. But the thing with Clyde is still the same challenge as always. He is always easy to kill. He just dies way too quickly. So no matter what they've done to him and all the changes they made to make him a little bit better and more usable, he still is, as they say, the typical glass cannon. So I'm not sure how useful he is right now in the new PvP setup, because I can pretty much take Clyde out with almost anybody. Now you can see, if you got him honed in on an energy hero, he can take them out pretty quickly. Like Flatline is gone, and that's great, but it's only if you can get him to survive long enough. So if you are going to use Clyde, make sure you use other priority heroes so it's hard for people to decide who to kill, and use people like Heimlock, Gammon Platinum, and Phalanx, and whoever you got to use just to keep him alive, or early healers like Nightingale and Keel, because otherwise he's just going to die. But the good thing is now that when the opponent is stunned, that his bronze skill hits 100% of the time. So if you use his silver and bronze in succession, you can do a lot of damage and take people out pretty quickly. So as far as PvP goes, medium level. For bounty, he does a lot of damage, that's for sure. So I would definitely say you want to get him up for this bounty, because he's going to be a major damage dealer in this setup, and I think you'd want to see that happening. So bounties, good. PvP, medium. Is he worth investing in? Sure. He's easy to farm, and he is definitely somebody that once you 10-star him, you can start getting that Heronium. So I would say definitely go for the PvP store, get him plat, because then he becomes the most useful, but he's probably not going to be the hero that you're going to use most of all. So there is Mr. Clyde. And by the way, he looks so much cooler with that cowboy skin. Now let's take a look at Dogface. He's somebody that's been useful for a long time. He was a lot of people's first 10-star. He's farmable from the Gauntlet, and he just does incredible amounts of damage even after they try to nerf him a couple times. Sometimes his accuracy isn't amazing, but overall, once you get him going, especially if you put him on auto, I find the computer controls him, he's great. You put his bronze and silver together, and he's doing lots of damage very, very fast. And you look at his platinum, and he is giving the whole team extra damage by ignoring armor. So I think he's definitely somebody that on your team you're going to want to invest in and get him up to the highest level that you can for a lot of reasons. And you'll see just how quickly he can smoke an entire other team. And the other thing about him that's different from the big damage dealers is that he is actually not that easy to kill. I mean, if you focus like Drake on him or something like that, you might be able to get him to go down, but he actually is very, very hard to kill. So that's why I like him. So for PvP, you know what, he's still showing up on a lot of teams. I know a lot of people like Panzer, but depending on the level you're at, like the current draft brawl that's going on, I actually think Dogface is better than Panzer for a lot of reasons. He doesn't have like interrupts and things like that, but he just, in terms of damage, keep him alive, he'll just destroy the other team. So PvP goes without saying, he would want to invest him and have him ready to go. And then in terms of bounty, I could definitely see in the bounty, Magistrate bounties coming up, that Dogface is going to be a really, really important part. He was doing millions of damage even without any bonuses. So you're going to want to get him up as high as possible for bounty. He's going to be a big determinant of if you're going to get a good bounty score or not. Dogface coming through, and with this skin, he gets more critical effects, which is great, more damage. It's just what he needed. People were joking around about that, and I don't know if I like the look of it. Hopefully I'll get that new skin later on, but Dogface definitely high priority Magistrate team member. Now let's take a look at Gammon. He used to be on everybody's team a long time ago, and then he just sort of fell off. So when you get to higher levels, he's dying too easily. So you know, he wasn't really being used very much in PvP, but now with the new Last Stand and some of the changes they've made, he might be useful again. So I'm putting a question mark on him if he's going to be useful for PvP or not. The main thing that's changed is his Last Stand. You can see that when he takes lethal damage, he's going to stay alive for 12 seconds, doing lots of damage with an increased fire rate, and if anybody dies, then he gets revived. So he's going to be the only one that he can revive, but maybe it makes him useful again. So I'm putting a question mark. If that doesn't really do well, then he's still going to be kind of a tier 2, tier 3 PvP hero. So I'd say, you know, you could invest in him. His plat skill makes him a bit more hardy, but not definitely a PvP priority right now from what I can see. For Bounty though, because he's energy, and if you don't have Min, or even if you do, you know, this is a good first time we've had all 3 element types in a Bounty, which is great. So you're going to want to get him up, because I think he's going to be an important part of getting a good Bounty score. I don't know how much damage Min is doing, although she'll probably get extra bonuses. Gammon's going to be your energy man for all the bio hitting teams that you're going to want to do. So I'd say definitely get him up for Bounty, PvP, bit of a question mark, but let's see. I'm excited to see if maybe Gammon makes a bit of a revival and gets back into it, because he's a pretty cool character to use, and a lot of people can get him. He's accessible, which I always like, so farmable, so in that sense worth having on your team. And let's see if he becomes more useful. Okay, so Salvatore, he's kind of a forgotten hero, and the reason is because he doesn't really do very much. I think he's going to be important for this upcoming Magistrate event because he is bio. So in that sense, you know, he's going to be helping you hit all the mech teams. So you're going to want to look at investing him in for that reason. You do get the you used to get the daily bonus for him, which made it easier. Now it's a little bit harder to farm for him, but I think that he does do a lot of damage. Like you'll see in the PvP match that I'm about to show you, that he's doing a lot of damage to the Panzers and all that. It's just that he doesn't really do much else, and his bronze skill is next to impossible to hit somebody. A big warning sign comes that it's happening. It's very slow to hit, and even his silver skill is really hard to get to hit. So at the end, you'll have Salvatore in your team, and if you win the match, you'll see, wow, he's actually done a decent amount of damage, and you didn't realize. So what I like about him is that he's one of those kind of heroes, that not a priority hero. He's like Riker, if you remember from my UAF videos, and he does a lot of damage randomly, and people don't really pay attention to him. But I don't really think that I'm going to be using him on any PvP teams anytime soon. He doesn't really serve a purpose. He's not really healing, he's doing a little bit of damage, doesn't have much utility or support value. I mean, his silver skill can silence. I know with the skin that you know, he can do a few different things as well, but I would say that that Salvatore is not high priority for PvP. And as I said before though, for Bounty, he is definitely somebody that you're going to want to bring up. We really have this opportunity here to, you know, that holdup that was happening in Bounty, where you always have one type of hero that was left over. That's not going to happen this time, which is great. So you're going to want to make sure, if you want to get a good Bounty score, a good damage, that you got at least one hero of each element powered up to a level where they can really hold a team for you. And in this case, it's going to be Salvatore. The good thing about when you're facing bounties is that with his skills, is that especially in the second and third waves, most of the time they can't even dodge them anymore. So that his bronze skill and his silver skill will be hitting and probably doing tons and tons of damage. So I have him at 9-star platinum right now. I've saved some biofrags, and I'm probably going to 10-star him at some point just for that reason. Unfortunately, he's not farmable anymore easily, but the good thing is that you know, you don't really need to do much to make him effective. So even if you have him at 6, 7, 8-star, but just make sure to get him up so that he's getting a good multiplier on the bounty. So I don't know. We'll see what happens to heroes like him. I wonder if, like, when Hero Hunters is making these developments, if they look at a hero like Salvatore, who could be interesting, could be useful, and people have him at a decent level, but he just doesn't serve a purpose. I wonder if they're going to give him some buffs to make him useful. I think for him, the one thing I would say is make his bronze skill hit way more often. Make it hit 100%. Why not? He's not like he's, you know, destroying other teams. So I think that would be the main thing that I would say to make him useful. Now this, we happen to actually get a win with him, which is great. He's doing a lot of damage to all the mech heroes with just his regular shot, especially if you're doing headshots. And we happen to win this match with Salvatore. Obviously for this video, I'm just using the hero that I'm featuring. I wouldn't normally control Salvatore like this, but just for the purpose of showing what he's all about. So Salvatore, PvP, probably low priority, bounty, high because he's your only bio. Let's take a look at Hardscope. So Hardscope's an interesting character. I mean, I don't really know what he exactly is meant to do. I mean, he's a damage dealer, rear line, which is always good, makes him harder to kill. And I have heard of teams where They have a hard scope 10-star platinum +3, and they're just destroying other teams. So I need to get him higher before I can make a full assessment. But I will say his first aid drone doesn't heal enough usually to make it worthwhile. He often dies before he even gets that off. His BFG does tons and tons of damage, but just only 3 shots, and it's really hard to get him there. And by the time you pull it out, like, he's probably going to get killed. So that screen where you see died switching heroes, you probably see a lot. You'll see mine is going to get killed in these PvP matches I'm showing you. And you know, just for PvP, I don't know if he's going to be a high priority. There's a lot of better damage dealers than him. I know he's supposed to be someone who does damage. I could do a little bit of healing, but I find that I'd rather just use someone like Dogface if I'm going to use a rear line DPS. It's not worth it to put in hard scope. Since I platted him, I will say that I've been getting a lot of damage on the headshots and trying to focus on those. But overall, PvP probably lower priority than some of the others that you have on your team. The Magistrates are a high. You've got 2 high damage dealers, Clyde and Dogface from mechs. So and Brogan's probably going to be that way too. So I think you should just not prioritize him for that. But for if you want to look at Bounty, I do think you want to get him up high, because again, you're not playing as much defense on Bounty, and then his bronze and silver are going to be not silver, so his bronze is going to be hitting for quite a lot when he does the BFG with like a 5x multiplier. So you know, he's probably mid-level priority for Bounty, but you don't have to worry because you also have Clyde and Dogface and maybe Brogan for the Bounty. So hard scope, sort of low priority overall. Now we take a look at the gigantic trash compactor, the vending machine, whatever you want to call him, Galante. This guy takes a lot of flack. You know, and oftentimes in VIP you see people talking about how bad he is and showing off their Galantes and saying how bad he is. They've tried to buff him up, giving him shields when he hits things with his skills, making him a little bit more rugged in some ways with his new platinum. But you know, I still think Galante is one of the most useless heroes in the game. I haven't seen anybody use him effectively for anything. I haven't seen him do good in PvP. I haven't seen him do. I can't imagine him doing that good at Bounty. Although you know, he could surprise you. When he first came out as a new hero, in those bounties he was doing decent amounts of damage. I will say that, because he's got the missiles that he's firing and the lance, and he was doing all right. So in that case, maybe he might be someone to take a look at. But if you got mech frags and you've got items, you're going to want to put them into your other mech first. Save it up for Brogan. Save it up and put it into Dogface, put it into Clyde, even put it into Hardscope. So Galante is lowest low priority. I'm not doing anything to him. I think what I did is I added a star to him and I made him gold, and that's probably where it's going to end. I refuse to invest in him just because it's Magistrates month. Even though I may get more bonus points on some events, and even though I may get more damage in Bounty, he is just not worth it. Who knows, one day they might buff him up and I'll be eating my words and Galante is like a superstar, but he's so big, he's so easy to hit, he just doesn't really have a use. So I'd love to hear from you. If you found a way to make Galante useful, then please tell me. I'd love to hear it. I'm always trying to learn and grow, but you're going to be hard pressed to find a way to prove to me that Galante is somebody that we should be investing in. So those are the original 6 Magistrate heroes, and hopefully this was useful for you determining what you're going to do, who you're going to invest in over the course of this Magistrates month. Wishing you all the best. Please continue to subscribe, like, share comments with me, go on the forum, tell me the videos you want to see, because this video was an idea from somebody and I'm happy to do this. I don't really get anything from this except just helping others get better at the game, just like I'm always trying to do. I learn from other people, and that makes for a better game for all of us. So please stay in touch with me, let me know what's going on, and look me up in the game, say hello. People do that, and I'm happy to give advice, guidance on some things. And if you have advice, guidance for me, I'm always happy to hear it too. So continue to stay in touch, hit me up in the comments, and happy hunting.